Hello, and we are back. This is the second season of the DRS, which is the Doubtful Review System. And just like the original DRS, we've also kept up with time and made some changes. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Well, the second season is going to be bigger, better, just like any other show or any other launch or any other product, because you see, we do a second season to improve ourselves. Ye reeti hai is jag ki. And just like the original DRS, where the area of dismissals has of course increased, we've also made some more room. And just like in the previous season, we had one expert, we made some changes there, and now we have two experts. So shall we get introduced to them? Let's please welcome Akhil Ranade and of course Arun Gopalakrishnan. And these two gentlemen are going to be absolutely rocking the show, because in Akhil we've got a diehard cricket fan, and in Arun we've got a stat machine. So I'll start with you, Akhil. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself to all the fans that have joined the show.
Sure. It's a pleasure joining you guys, and really looking forward to the DRS show. I've been into the business of sports for around more than 12 years now. Been dabbling into different things into the cricket genre. Obviously, played cricket in Mumbai as a kid, and then when I realized I wasn't good enough, managing people in cricket or doing work in cricket was the next best thing. So that's how I've been doing. I do a lot of work in the content space, where I produce cricket shows, and I work with some of the other people working in the cricket business. So yeah, that's the kind of work that I do. But I love to travel also a lot. Traveled across the world to watch cricket, test cricket ideally. So yeah, that's me.
Oh, nice. So did you go to Australia?
Yes.
Oh, you did? That's fantastic. So you actually saw it. All right. So the fact that you produce so many shows, I'm going to be a little scared of you, because you're going to see me with, those judgmental eyes. Kaisa kar rahi? What kind of show is she doing? Whereas Arun here, give me some numbers about yourself.
Hey, listen. Okay. Born in India in the 80s, and which means, you were smitten by the cricket bug, obviously. So tried to play cricket, played cricket, did reasonably well. Bit of a batsman, bit of an all-rounder. Also, kept wickets at my college trials once. Helped the groundsman roll pitches, pull the covers. Did a bit of journalism, did a bit of producing, did a bit of television. Well, I've done everything, honestly.
Oh,
and now
perfect.
stats and numbers are what keep me going.
We've actually produced a show together, Ridhima, Arun and myself. We did a show a couple of years ago where it was a nice show, and we had a lot of fun. So that's when we got talking on a lot of stats and cricket.
Oh, lovely. So that's exactly what we're going to do on this show as well. So what are we waiting for? Let's just get started, and let me introduce you all as to how this particular show works. You see, the very first segment is called Front Foot Plays. So that hasn't changed. All right, front foot, please. Now, for everybody who's tuning in for the first time, let me tell you what we do in this segment. So basically, the ongoing Indian T20 League has so much drama, so much action, there's so much to talk about, that what we do here is we pick the top 3 moments from the league in the week gone by, and we just have a take on it, which no other show can actually give you, because we don't have experts like these on any other show. So what we're going to do is define those reviews with numbers, and of course there's going to be a lot of insight, and we'll try our best. So let's get started, gentlemen. And we're going to start in the reverse order. We're going to start with number 3, then 2, then 1. All right?
Sure.
So the very first one is actually the man that has become the talking point of Bengaluru, because it seems like Bengaluru has finally found the answer to their death overs problem, and the name of the man is Harshal Patel. So the question is Harshal Patel the answer to Bengaluru's age-old question, who is going to be our death overs bowler? Well, to answer that, let me start with Arun. And also let me tell you that the captain himself, Mr. Kohli, was actually very happy after the match, saying that, oh my God, there seems to be a ray of hope in the clouded areas in Bengaluru. So what do you make of it?
I'll have to warn you.
Yeah.
Don't take Virat Kohli's words literally. He can say one thing, mean another thing. It's like, the rickshaw wallahs in many parts of our country. Signal right, turn left. But but I kind of think Harshal Patel could be the answer to RCB's death over woes. Rider it's only for this season. And hear me out.
Oh,
I'm telling this why. Because they're not playing in Bengaluru. And Bengaluru is where, batsmen go after bowlers right through the innings, but more so in the last 4 or 5 overs. So if you're looking for a getaway, Bengaluru, this is the time. RCB can get away with having Harshal Patel as their death overs bowler this season.
well, thank God you mentioned that. I thought you were being mean to Harshal Patel because of the fact that he's in the common player pool. Yeah, last time he was with DC, then you don't know whether he's going to be with Bengaluru or no. But actually, Akhil, do you think that he will be retained by the team with the way he's been performing?
See, he's been a very popular player, that much I can tell you. He's been a very popular player in the Delhi camp also. I mean, they really like his hard-working attitude that he has towards the game. No, I don't think he'll be retained because next year is going to be the big auction. So the retentions will be very few and only the core. So obviously Virat and AB and depending on how Maxwell goes, those are the kind of people who will be retained. So Harshal will be back in the auction next year, and if the teams also increase, then the opportunity for him also gets, like, he can go to multiple teams. Obviously, if he does well, then the franchisee can get him back again. And I don't know whether he's a solution or not. Like Arun said, he's spot on. What the captain says and what happens with the selections is a completely, it's a show in itself. Every season, if you see the interviews that happen in the beginning of the season, and by the time 13th or the 14th match finishes, you see the 11 that they're playing with, and it will be a very, very nice, humorous show.
Indeed, it really will be. But actually, having said that, I just hope that Bengaluru ka jo ye jinx hai, Arun, that they somehow break it, and finally they are able to lift the trophy, not just touch it.
Are you seriously mentioning this? Because their tagline was "E Salah Cup Namade," and they themselves have ditched this. If they have ditched this, it tells you that they are not confident themselves. And
not as the captain. Not as the captain, because in the interview he said, like, after winning 2 of 2, he's like, we'll take it easy, we'll take it slow. Sounded like somebody's asking him to be in a relationship.
Cautiously optimistic is what he was. He said, I don't want to be overexcited with these 2 wins. Really? I mean, RCB fans are jumping because I think this is only the second time that they won their opening 2 matches in a season. But get the party started, guys. Come on.
You're Bengaluru after all. All right. So, well, what happened with Mumbai there, though? Now, we figured that Mumbai ka ye shagun hai. That, you lose the first match and then you go ahead and you win the trophy. It's become like a story that I've seen way too many times for my liking. Right? But having said that, in the first match, it's like they prepared for the maths exam. They prepared for Siraj. But they lost in the moral science exam, Akhil.
Yeah, they prepared. I mean, I think first match they say that, chalo, let's give it a shot. We are just getting back together after a while. And why change something that is working? Like, if you won the title 5 times and you've not won the first match since 2013, then क्यों चेंज करें? चलो जाते हैं मैच में, लेट्स गेट टू नो ईच अदर, थोड़ा बैटिंग प्रैक्टिस कर लेंगे, बुमराह थोड़ा अपना हाथ घुमा लेगा, बॉडी गर्म कर लेगा, एंड देन वी नो दैट वी हैव टू विन द लास्ट मैच ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट. पहला जीत के कौन किसको याद रहा है?
बिल्कुल पहला जीत.
It's the last match that counts.
It is the last match that counts. That's okay, but I hope that changes this season. And there are some changes that we see. And talking about changes, let's move on to the next talking point of the week, which was the single that should have been taken or not. It is Sanju Samson and the single that wasn't taken. Now, gentlemen, this is my favorite topic because it's singles, talking about singles. And I'm sitting at home. My father's almost cringing over this. Oh God, she's still single. So talking about singles here, there was actually a tweet that said that Sanju Samson has been denying singles just the way Mumbai societies deny singles. So, well, clearly, yes, Arun. Arun's like nodding his head. Oh.
It's but obvious, Ridhima, isn't it? Sanju Samson is from one of those, he's one of those mama's boys. He's married now. So it's only but obvious that he refuses a single.
Well, yeah, that is exactly what he did to keep peace at home, but nothing was peaceful in the team because of that denied single. I mean, on the other end, you've got Karodo ke Malik,
Not yet. अभी तो पैसा transfer नहीं हुआ होगा.
Oh, breaking news. So we've got Chris Mott.
But I'll tell you what, I think if I were in Sanju Samson's place, I would have taken the single. I see where he's coming from. I understand what Sanju Samson did there, but hey, look, Chris Morris is an international cricketer, right? And he's got a little bit of common sense, right? He's got the ability to think. He understands they need 4 or 5 of the last ball. What's he going to do? He's not going to block, right? He's either going to hit out like a heave, and good chance there would have been an edge to third man, to fine leg, wherever. We've got a boundary, match would have tied. Or, worst comes to worst, he would have hit out, miscued, he would have been caught, and end result is they lost, which is what happened now. So, I would have definitely given Chris Morris a chance, but to each one his own.
Well, Arun, I think Sanju Samson has seen a lot of South African cricket in the late 90s and early 2000s.
I know.
So, which are the 2 memories of the World Cup where a South African batsman is either blocking something or he's connected like magnificently throughout the tournament and then he misses out with a run out. So, with a Klusner and a Boucher, I think he didn't want to take a risk.
That's right, actually. You do not deliver knockout punches. So, now it makes sense. Now it does make sense. But having said that, let me ask you, Akhil, if he was not the captain, could he have denied single?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a senior player. He's been playing for a while now. So if he's already scored 100, he's got 6-7 sixes, already has the momentum. Then I mean, it's his call. I mean, if not a Morris, if there was some other batsman who was like a youngster, like a Rian Parag probably, and who was not worth 16 crores, then probably this issue wouldn't have been discussed. But it's only because it's Morris and the huge price tag. Maybe Morris before this season without a huge price tag, even then I don't think this issue would have been discussed. But if you're already batting on 100 and have the momentum, why not?
Yeah, Arun.
We've seen this happen so many times, a certain MS Dhoni will say, leave it to me, I'm the boss. So, hit somewhere, no, not a boundary, I'll retain strike. And then the finishing comes. So if MS Dhoni's done it, we know where it started from. Just at one of those occasions where it didn't happen for Sanju. You feel for him.
Yeah, that's true. But having said that, Arun, a 90 in a winning cause or 100 in a losing cause?
There are 2 things here. One, as a fan, I'd want a 90 in a winning cause. But if I've invested in fantasy, I don't care if my team wins or loses. I want the player I've chosen to score runs for me. So 100 in a losing cause.
100 in a losing cause. Okay. Fairly.
Be greedy.
But you see, you have to feel for Rajasthan though, without Ben Stokes, Akhil, it's going to be an uphill task in the season.
It looked like an uphill task, but the way David Miller batted in the next match and he did the role that was expected of Stokes, got them through in the end. So he's coming off a decent run playing for South African national team. He's had some momentum, hit some huge sixes there of the Pakistani bowlers, which are like top class bowlers, and he hit like huge sixes in Joburg and Centurion. So it's just maybe a blessing in disguise that he's actually coming in with a good run and he's going to contribute like he did in the second match versus Delhi. So might not be so bad.
All right. But that was Sanju Samson, and of course the Chris Morris, where he was denied the first investment of 16 crores 25 lakhs. But well, he made up for it in the next one. But then let's move on to point number 3 of the week that made news, which is, gentlemen, the 90s are back. Well, chasing is difficult again, thanks to, of course, Kolkata and Hyderabad with the chasing performances that they've done. Well, welcome back to the 90s. Gentlemen, see, there was an era where the required run rate of 6 was like a huge task to ask for. And Kolkata have actually taken us back in time, which is beautiful. But I thought chasing was a very integral part of men, wasn't it, Arun? What happened there?
For once, I'm happy that somebody's saying welcome back to the 90s, because the 90s means lesser population, lesser pollution, more greenery around me. So I'm happy that someone's for a change saying welcome back to the 90s. I'm glad. But yeah, I mean, what happened there? It seems to be a trend with the tournament, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. When I watched those 2 games, I was like, did the second day really happen? And me and Akhil were talking about it, and we said, was it just a replay in our mind, or did it actually happen? You cannot have. It was a copy paste, literally. So many international batsmen struggling to finish off. Small chases. We're not talking about 170, 180. These are 150 chases, and with batsmen of the caliber of Owen Morgan, caliber/experience/class. Should have been done. Dinesh Karthik, Russell, you name it. I mean, there are so many guys out there. Should have been done. I cannot believe those 2 chases did not go well.
Yeah, actually, sitting in Mumbai, I heard the whole of Kolkata went like, what? Did that happen? We could actually hear it. Oh my God. People are not happy in that squad, especially their owner, Akhil. Their tweet.
Yeah, I mean, he seems really disappointed, and obviously for a good reason. You are giving away matches which you could have won, and you start these are the kind of losses which start accumulating, as a team management, and it hurts in the end when you are on equal points and you don't qualify because of maybe a match or 2 matches. So these are the kind of losses which people who are emotional about the team, they keep dreaming about these matches, they keep thinking about these matches for months, years to come. So these kind of matches hurt, and I don't understand. I mean, if I were a team management person, I would, when the breaks happen in between the overs, I would probably get tapes of Virat Kohli and just put them in the dressing rooms in the kind of chases that man has orchestrated. I mean, people like a Samad, people like a Riyan Parag, people like a Manish, the youngsters, they should just see the kind of chases that Virat has played over the years. And there are no shots which are fancy and up in the air which are not required. He will still play his game. He will run like a tiger between the wickets. So he, more often than not, he's got his team through wins, and it's not because he hits the longest sixes. He's not the biggest hitter of sixes like an Andre Russell or a Hardik, but he's found a way, right? He's contributed to the team, and that's the kind of intent that these youngsters need to get in.
Yeah, he has, but not.
I just have one thing to add to what Akhil said. Akhil, one thing I picked up was, why are these guys... I mean, where's the intelligence? Where's the cricket smarts? Why are all these players going over the top? They're all trying to hit sixes and getting dismissed. It's not they're not getting caught at cover, right? They're not edging to slip. Where's the cricket smarts? Take 2 singles. I heard Harsha mention this yesterday. Couple of other commentators on television. Slacks mentioned it. Lara, there was Hayden saying, if it's not your style to hit, not everybody can be a Pollard or a Russell, right?
Yeah.
3 singles in an over, that's 6 runs already from 3 balls. And you find a boundary somewhere, that's 10 runs of the over. Why are those cricket smarts not there in these young kids?
That's true. That is true.
It's annoying if you're a cricket fan and looking at these dismissals. Really,
it must be really annoying as team management. I'm telling you, I've sat inside team managements and I've seen teams losing like that. And after the match, then you ask the players, but that's just the heat of the moment, and it's not like they remember what happened maybe at that time. So it's a time when managements have to be a little cool and just take things easily.
The things you cannot do in cricket, which will never be acceptable, is playing shots which are completely out of space, and losing your wicket to a run out. These are absolute crimes in cricket.
Yes. And talking about management, when you're talking about Hyderabad, why aren't they playing Williamson?
You didn't ask this. You really didn't ask this.
No, I want to ask this. Somebody has to answer this.
I'm a huge fan of his. I'm a huge fan of his, right?
Yeah.
He's the best player in the world for me in all formats. Here, look. Williamson was typecast as, a test cricketer / a 50-over cricketer. But this guy can score runs in T20 as well. He's got his limitations, yes. He's, like I said, he knows he's not a Pollard or a Gale or a Russell, but he can still do his job. He's smart, right? Like I said, he can pick up 2 runs, 3 runs of 2 balls, or, 7 runs of 3 balls, give strike to the other guys. Guys, here's your opportunity. He can do that. So you're definitely going to be plus every single over when Williamson's out there. The reason I think Hyderabad have not picked him is because his elbows is a bit of a question mark. He's recovering, and the good news is he's not too far away. But also because there's a question mark over Warner's groin, and I think they want, if ever Warner is kind of ruled out, I think they want Williamson to step in to take over captaincy. So, but if I'm concerned, if I'm the deciding authority, I'd have Williamson in my team the minute he was 100% fit, not 110% fit.
Yeah. Akhil, actually, if Bengaluru was watching, of course they were watching Hyderabad lose the way they did, it was like watching a documentary on Bengaluru themselves a couple of seasons back.
Yeah, messing up on chases, but they have a magician, Bengaluru always have a magician to go back to. In whatever crisis they need, they have one guy who bats for them and he plays like a Superman all the time. So as long as that guy he just keeps delivering. No rustiness for him, no age catching up, no not playing cricket for a while and still being able to deliver. So while that one person is still batting at number 5 for them, you can't write Bengaluru off in any chase.
And in case you've not figured out who that player is, people watching, it's AB de Villiers.
Right. I was also about to ask, is Glenn Maxwell more at home in Bengaluru?
Well, he's not in Bengaluru. Otherwise, he would have loved the pubs there.
There are plenty to go to. There are plenty of good pubs to go to. Akhil, I can promise you that.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time when Bengaluru was called the city of gardens. Now it's called the city of pubs. Yeah. So it's actually, that change has happened in the GK books, by the way.
It's the beer capital of India, is it by any chance? Do people also call it beer capital of India?
That's for a different reason altogether.
Okay.
But very quickly, gentlemen, I think the front foot please was actually a great step. Now let's move on to the next one, which is the hotspot. So ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to hotspot and put these two gentlemen into the spotlight. Well, gentlemen, the segment that we just witnessed was like, all right, so we think this and we think that. But now comes the time where, since you're making your debut, there has to be a bit of ragging, which is like a pratha in everything and anything, right? So I'm going to put you under the spotlight. And there are a couple of questions, situations that I'd give you. And I want to know what would your reaction to that situation be like. All right, so are we ready for this?
This is Ridhima being the old-time coaches, bat front foot, start your net session with playing on the front foot. And suddenly she says, slog overs. 12 to get of 2 balls. Here you go. Bring it on.
Something like that. So since you seem more excited about it, Arun, this one's for you. You're Chris Morris and you bump into Sanju Samson for breakfast the morning after the Punjab game. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So, of course, from the picture, it looks like it's going to be a great breakfast. But what is the conversation going to be like?
We talk about everything else. And then my parting statement would be, Skip, 16 crores can buy you a boundary, right? We'll chat about this.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Ouch, man. Ouch. Well, I'm sure his team is already thinking about it. No, not actually. He delivered.
He delivered
delivered.
the next
He
match.
did, didn't he? Yeah.
He delivered. He delivered. And of course, it's too soon. It's just, like a week gone by. Having said that, Akhil, this one's for you. You're Maxwell and you meet KL Rahul in the hotel elevator. Yeah, looking all cool. And for your information, in 2 matches, Maxwell has already surpassed his total boundaries count that he had for the entire last season for Punjab. So, what would you say to KL Rahul?
Nothing cricketing wise. His nickname used to be Big Show, which he never enjoyed. So with Rahul and his Instagram profile and his glamorous friends and the kind of clothes that he wears, he would probably say, "Bro, give my regards to Preeti and love your style on Instagram in that last photograph. Can you send me some shades or can you send me some goggles over?" That's what he would be saying.
I don't you
Come
think
on,
Glenn
come
Maxwell would say this?
Come on, Akhil, come on.
Come on, man. Arun, what would you say?
I don't think Maxwell will be talking cricket outside the field. I think he's a chilled out person. He'll be so chilled out and chilling with Rahul and like bonding over things like goggles and shoes and accessories. These are they are dudes. They don't like this. They don't talk. They talk these things.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. But having said that, I want to know what would Arun as Maxwell say to KL Rahul?
Look, I have seen firsthand Virat Kohli having a huge influence on KL. So if I were Maxwell, I'd actually, and if I bumped into him, I'd tell KL, it's the same rub, man. Virat Kohli rubbed you and got you to the player you are now. Same with me. The rub, and look at what I've done.
He's the lucky charm.
If you go back to 2016, right? I think that's the season when KL actually took flight. And I think I want to believe it was Virat Kohli's influence. Looking at if you were to compare, look back, study, I think Virat Kohli is a major influence on KL Rahul. No, he reveres him. He kind of adores him.
Yeah,
we had a very interesting chat with Rahul once, Arun, and he was telling us how Virat was guiding him in his initial first 100 at Sydney or Melbourne, and even in an IPL game, he was saying Virat at the other end was telling me what the bowler is going to bowl. So he said, "Ab wo shot dalega, ab tu piche khel. Now you go for a 6 now, this ball, because it's going to be pitched like higher up by the leg spinner." So he's reading the game for the batsman at the other end. So yeah, that's the kind of influence that the Indian captain has.
I can tell you for sure that Virat's a guy that KL looks up to. And I
both
think
on and off the field.
Same. Well, you said it.
Yeah.
You said it, Akhil. You said it.
Yeah, the next time I'm going to ask you what is KL going to say to Virat Kohli if he meets in the elevator. But that's for the next time. With that, gentlemen, let's move on to the next segment. Very well played though. So clearly you've qualified in the hot spot. The next one is 3 reds or umpire's call. And I'll tell you what we're going to do there in a bit. Well, they did really well when they met their cricketer friends. Now is the big test. And the test is very simple. Well, the first one is that you have to give me a movie name for the respective teams that I'm going to throw at you. So, like what do you make of Chennai in the seasons that they've played and their current performance in this particular season? And, if you had to give them a movie, what would it be? Very simple.
And in one word, is it? Or we have to give an explanation?
Oh, well, if you would want to explain, that'd be nice. But some movie names, I'm sure, are going to be self-explanatory. So that we leave out. Okay. All right, so Akhil, let's start with you. Well, the very first one is, of course, the color of the shirt that I'm wearing, the men in yellow, Chennai. So if you had to give a movie name to Chennai, what would it be?
Wow, there's this Shah Rukh Khan movie which is Chennai Express, right? So they've been like an express train for so many years, and I think that is so apt for them. The movie songs are also very, very something that Dhoni might dance to also. So maybe a Chennai Express.
A Chennai Express? Fair deal. Fair deal. Chennai Express actually suits Chennai a lot. All right. So we move on to Arun here. Arun, if you had Kolkata, what is the movie that you'd give to Kolkata?
I'm tempted to say border.
Border.
They've not crossed the border.
Oh, border.
Border.
Okay,
Yeah.
border. All right.
They've been there, but they've not crossed onto the top four. So border.
I had a very nice one for Kolkata actually. It will be Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, which is like a movie that their owner has acted in. They've had some successes, they've had some failures.
Yes, that's very cool. But this is the question I want to ask both of you. Do they have enough soldiers to actually get over the border? Is there going to be enough khushi in this season? Or is there going to be more gum? I'll start with you, Arun. Yeah.
Thumbs up. Yes.
Yes, you think? Akhil?
Definitely.
Yes?
Yep.
All right, with that, moving on to the next team, which let's find out has more khushi or less gum, which is Punjab. Now, Punjab is an interesting team here. Akhil, the name of the movie that you'd like to coin for them?
They'd love to fly high, won't they? They'd love to get up at the top of the table and fly high. So, Udta Punjab.
Udta Punjab. Nice one. Udta Punjab. Let's see how high do they fly this time around. Like, I really feel for KL, you know. So, the next team, which comes for Arun, is Rajasthan.
London Dreams, because of their owners are Englishmen. They've got a strong English contingent managing the team. So London Dreams.
London Dreams, yeah. Angrezi medium because so many English, so that could be one.
Nice.
All right, so London Dreams. London Dreams suits them really well. The next one is Hyderabad. Akhil, Hyderabad.
This is a team which is so much about David Warner, you know, and it should be something about David, probably David and the Goliaths or something.
David and the Goliaths. I like that. But also, Pran Jai per Williamson na khilai.
Oh man, you didn't do this again, Ridhima. Please save me.
Alright, what would yours be for Hyderabad?
I'm going David Bangya Gentleman.
Oh, nice. That's also cool. Alright, the next one coming for you is Delhi. The Shreyas Iyer-led team now, Rishabh Pant. What would you call them?
Is there a Delhi somewhere? Is there a
Delhi? That's actually a song. Delhi. There's no Delhi.
Okay, I want to say Delhi somewhere. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe Swades. Yeah.
Rajdhani.
Yeah, Rajdhani, Indian captain, they seem to be after young Indian talent. So doing good for Indian cricket. So Rishabh Pant, Prithvi Shaw and all of those kids, yeah. Avesh Khan. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so the next one is Bengaluru for Akhil.
Wow. They are the Royal Challengers of Bangalore, right?
Come on, be mean. Be mean, Akhil. Be mean.
Be mean.
Be mean.
Off the camera.
Come on, nobody's watching. Let's go for it.
Don't worry, Akhil. There'll be a disclaimer rolled at some point in the show, if you mean.
Yeah.
Bengaluru have not won they've been the contenders for so long. I think forever contenders.
Forever contenders.
Forever. That was
meaning not this year also.
No, they are contenders. I mean, there are 8 other teams also who are contenders, but at least the others have won. Like most of them have won it. So now these people have been forever contenders. Now once they get past that one hurdle, then probably they won't be contenders.
Interesting. Yeah, that was mean, Akhil. Well done. That was really mean.
No disclaimer for this one, though.
Yeah, forever contenders. Okay, all right. Well, moving on to the team which forever are champions. Mumbai. Arun. Actually, both is boring. I tell you what, as a fan, for me, both is boring now.
Mumbai is straightforward, isn't it? Uh, I'm saying trophy na milega dobara, so that's a message in it.
But I feel all the other captains would be saying that to Rohit Sharma.
I've always maintained that Mumbai are just too good.
All right, so trophy na milegi dobara. That is Mumbai for you. Well done, gentlemen. Well done.
No
Not bad at all. No disclaimers at all. Not even for Akhil. All right. The movies went down well. Now let's talk about some books, shall we? So this is like, there has to be a lot of fire in this one. What I'm going to ask you to do is that I'm going to give you some players' name and you should tell me what would their autobiographies be called. Very simple. We've played this before. So shall we? I'll start with the very first one, and this one I'll start with you, Arun. What would Virat Kohli's autobiography be called?
Oh, what was it about the monk? There was something about the monk, right? The monk who had a Ferrari, was it?
Sold his Ferrari. The monk who
sold his Ferrari. The leader who won no title. Yeah,
please add a disclaimer for this, guys.
No, please add. Right now, it's a matter of fact right now. He's not won a title. Like, if he writes a book right now, the leader who won no title.
Dude. Okay. Moving on very quickly.
I'm a stats man. I'm a facts man.
Very clearly so. But that's true, actually. The numbers define every part of his career, and it's actually a fact.
You know how captains are rated by the number of championships they win. It's simple.
That's true. That is true. That is true. Well, all right. Very quickly to Akhil, Rohit Sharma.
Oh man, he's been popular as a hitman so many years now. So. I mean, a hitman for the English one, and probably Mumbai ka Shana for a Hindi one. Rohit's Hindi is hilarious, so he should write in Hindi also. So a hitman for him, and hitman is something that is going to stay with him for life now. So those two.
All right, so Mumbai ka Shana, like Shana, you mean like that. Okay, cool. For everybody who has not come to Mumbai, is not aware of the lingo. All right, moving on to the next one. Very quickly, KL Rahul. Arun.
Okay, disclaimer here, right? I would have said Virat Kohli clone, but
too late for the disclaimer now, Arun. We've already.
No Virat Kohli clone, but I'm saying, if you ask me this last season or before the start of this season, I would have said catch 22 because KL's always been, should I bat aggressively? Should I bat slow? Start, consolidate, and then go for it. But this season, I think at least the coaches seem to believe that he'll bat aggressively from bat one. So right now, either a Virat Kohli clone or I'd say a catch 22. We'll see. We'll review this at the end of the season.
Interesting. Sanju Samson. Akhil, Sanju Samson.
His autobiography will be talented and performed under pressure or something. He's been scouted as being talented, and talented is a tag that a lot of cricketers have found it difficult to get rid of. So talented and delivered with 3 dots at the end.
Oh, I thought you were going to say never single. That would require a disclaimer.
Oh, you're still stuck on the singles.
No singles.
Sanju
Samson. No singles. No singles.
Well, actually, yeah, that's also true. No singles. That leaves a lot of room for anticipation, though. Yeah. Moving on. We'll move on to the next guy, which is Rishabh Pant. Arun.
Rishabh Pant is, mama good boy, 6-hitter, getting better. Okay. 101 on Stump Mic commentary.
101. Yeah. Oh.
The 101 of Stump Mic commentary.
Nice. Also, the man who never gives a beep.
Yeah.
This is the
good
also
one.
the attitude that
Good
the
one.
attitude that he carries.
Yeah.
All right, Akhil or Morgan.
Oh, he should definitely be doing an autobiography. Lots of stories. Captain Morgan.
Simple.
Captain
Yeah.
Morgan. Simple.
Captain Morgan.
Very
Yeah.
simple.
Big
All
one.
right. Well done so far, yeah, guys. The next one is David Warner. Arun.
I'd go Lockdown Diaries or something because, or I'd say, how to become a TikTok sensation.
Yes. Like he can actually write a book on that.
How to take
Very-
TikTok by storm.
How to take TikTok by storm. Yeah. Nice. All right, moving on to the next one, which is a very interesting one. MSD. MS Dhoni. What would his autobiography be called?
I think I'd let Arun take this. He's a real Dhoni fan, and I'm sure he'll have something which he's thought of already.
Go for it, Arun.
Born leader, born captain, natural captain, born leader, a leader of men, a natural leader of men.
The natural leader of men.
A natural leader of men. Yeah.
A natural leader of men. Well, suits the man really perfectly well. And the man is the best leader that the country has seen. So, well done, guys. That gets me to the end of this particular session, which was, I must say, it was pretty much rapid and a lot of fire that we've seen. So,
where are the prizes? We've done well, but who's the winner? Where are the prizes?
This is a budgeted show. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't give that disclaimer before. This is a budgeted show. We sell feelings here. Did you feel good about yourself?
Oh, I did. Absolutely did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's like a virtual gift. Well done, well played. That's all we can do during the lockdown. I'm sure you don't want COVID to be transferred through gifts. So yeah, ye to bahana acha. But you know what? Actually, Arun, I was thinking when you said like the 90s are back and the best part of the 90s, the greenery and of course the pollution. This is like the other effect of COVID, that not too many cars, less pollution, more greenery, and of course, required 106 being like a big task. The 90s are back.
Let's just get Tendulkar back. That's the one thing missing. Tendulkar back.
Hey,
in
listen,
the 90s.
Tendulkar was back not too long ago, and I have to say this. I worked on that series, the Legends series, and that was 90s really back. There were a couple of drives that Sachin played. There was a straight drive, and I said, boss, paisa vasool. Done my day. I'm not working anymore. And 90s are well and truly back.
All right, guys. Well played there. I mean, I have to say your debut on the Doubt Food Review system, without a doubt, has been stunning. So, like I said, I mean, there is no hamper as such, because we're just trying to be careful during COVID times. We don't want to give out gifts and don't want to touch it and pass on the virus. And of course, you understand. Also, we are a budgeted show. So that's why.
Good you got the last line out. Otherwise, I would have said, I've got, you can pay me digitally through Bitcoins or whatever.
Oh, this whole tech game that has started. Tuck. Yeah. But, you see, because we are budgeted, there's no Karan Johar, but it's me who's going to decide who's the winner. And and the answer to that is both of you have been really, really stunning, and of course it was full of fire, and you've done a great job on the first show, and that's the reason why it's going to be very difficult for me to decide who's the winner. So both of you share the hamper virtually.
Oh, come on, Ridhima. Thank you so much, but no thank you. Come on. Choose the winner.
So, see, I will eventually. And because the debut has been so great, we're going to meet again on the other shows. So, this is just the beginning. And there are going to be many times when I'm going to be very, very judgmental. So, you don't have to worry about that, Arun.
Good fun being on this DRS. Honestly, good fun being on this DRS.
Perfect. What about you, Akhil? Enjoyed yourself?
Absolute fun. Very nice to talk cricket as usual, and some of the questions are interesting. So you have to just watch and be careful about answering them.
Disclaimer.
Oh, wow.
Remember
disclaimers. Well, we'll remember to put disclaimers in the more episodes to come. But for now, I think this was straight out of the park. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thanks a lot. It's been a pleasure.
Absolute
and
pleasure.
Thank you. Yes. So thank you for joining on the very first episode of the second season of the Doubtful Review System. Stay tuned to this space because there's much more fun and laughter coming your way.